Hello, it's me, Danny, and I'm not really going to do a review right now, though I will be putting my review up for Sinister. I actually filmed one last night, but didn't really like it. I kind of rambled too much and didn't actually say a lot about the movie, so I'm going to be remaking it tonight, and I will be posting it as soon as I remake it. But for right now, I'm going to be doing kind of like a pre-review, my thoughts on the fourth movie of this series, Paranormal Activity 4. Now, the thing I'm thinking so far about the fourth one is I kind of have mixed thoughts. Well, let me explain. Paranormal Activity 1, which I absolutely love and adore this movie. Katie does a great job. Micah does a great job. They seem like a couple that could be together. The scares are legit. And with this movie, you didn't know what to expect until you saw it. No matter what people said, people were like, oh, it's scary. I kind of thought it was stupid. I kind of called everything. Well, except for the ending. But the scares, the jump scares weren't nothing big. But even though people had said that, and then there are people who were like, oh my god, it was so scary, you didn't know what to expect. It was a cheaply made movie, and it made a shit ton of money. Now, the thing about the first one is, watch the trailer, and what do? This is live, real footage. Well, I guess not live, but this is real footage from a theater. And the whole theater in the scene goes, oh! And everybody freaks out. Nobody's just sitting back. Nothing. And you know what? Yeah, there's one scene probably I jumped in the movie, but there's no way. If I saw this movie, well, I should probably flip it around so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. If I saw this one, Paranormal Activity 1, in theaters, there's no way in hell I would have freaked out like the people they show in the trailer. Now, granted, I know it's a trailer. It's supposed to sell the movie. Alright? Now, Paranormal Activity 2. Again, another good movie in the series. It's a prequel to the first one, for those of you who don't know. But then again, if you really don't know these movies, you really shouldn't be watching this, because I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the fourth one. If you haven't seen the first three, the fourth isn't going to make any fuck it, don't watch it. But, it's a prequel. It is Katie's sister, Christy, and, adds in 2 kids and a dog in this one. And pretty much the trailer did the exact same thing. Real footage from theaters, and everybody jumps at something. Pretty much all the things that they show in the trailer of this are really like the main scares of the movie that, once you've seen the trailer, it's like, eh. But, the things that you don't see in the trailer that are really creepy. And it's a great movie. Like, it advances the plot line from 1. Kind of explains some things about why 1 happened. And then the way 2 ended, made these 2 really go together. Now, Paranormal Activity 3. Discover how the activity began. And on the front you see the 2 girls, Katie and Christy, with the dark shadow here. It says September 24th, 1988. So this one goes back to when they were kids. And not to say I didn't like it, because I did. This is one of the funnier ones. Almost as, if not funnier than 1 is. It's right up there, up to par. 2 really wasn't that funny. It's definitely creepy. Definitely has some scary parts. There are some things that you can kind of call coming. But then again, those make you laugh when you do. But it goes back to, like I said, when they were kids, and, kind of what's happening to them. that they don't want to talk about that they were saying in the first one. And the very ending kind of shows, like, gives you a secret society type of deal going on, to kind of explain how they got haunted. Though to me, the ending did make this movie very, very confusing. Like, the second time I watched this, I loved it. The first time I watched it, I was seriously sitting there at the end going, well, what the fuck is that? So I would say it takes a couple times to really get into it and figure it out. But again, the trailer for this, everybody fucking jumped. Now, my issue so far with Paranormal Activity 4, and I will do what I thought before I reading any reviews or hearing anything about it, was, if you watch the trailers, there is no actual real footage from theaters. None of that. And yet the trailers just, they're trying to be teaser trailers, but they seem like actual theatrical trailers that you watched for the first three. What they did for this is they kept the plot line and a lot about this movie, like, under lock and key, super hush-hush, and the problem I have with that is because technically, well, not technically, but a tendency for a movie that's going to be kept hush-hush like this tends not to be very good. I'm not really sure if they followed through with it, because, but they had a thing on Facebook, like, vote for your city or whatever, and we'll bring Paranormal Activity to you first. But most places I know of, the movie got released a day early. Well, not really at midnight on Thursday. But I know a lot of places, especially here, and I'm in Illinois, we had a 9 o'clock showing on Thursday, the 18th of Paranormal Activity 4, when it's supposed to come out on the 19th here. For keeping a movie very hush-hush under lock and key, they did a good job of it up until the 16th. And the reason I say the 16th is because if you were looking it up, they didn't really have anything on the plot line. There wasn't really a ton of reviews. There was, the pre-reviews like I'm doing, and people's thoughts on it. There were a few insider things, but they didn't really give it away. But what they didn't, the problem with the 16th is overseas in Germany and Australia and places like that, Paranormal Activity 4 came out on the 17th. Where in the US, and I believe Canada, it came out on the 19th. So, if you're going to keep a movie under lock and key, like hush hush, no leaks, why aren't you going to do a universal release so that I can't get leaks from overseas or anything like that? And that's another issue I have. They've announced this movie for a while, and there's no leaks at all. Because I really looked into this movie, because I'm super stoked to see it. I know this movie has gotten a ton of shit reviews. They pretty much have said, yeah, it's good for jump scares, but it doesn't really advance the plot, and what does advance the plot, it kind of lost its meaning. But to me, I love the series so far. I want to see what happens. I've been waiting for this and waiting for it. I'm looking forward to it. Will I be disappointed? Probably. But I'm still looking forward to it. So I searched this movie, and I really couldn't find that many leaks on it. So if you're not going to do, how do you keep a big company like this? How do you keep a movie under lock and key like that? There's not a lot of movies that can do that. I don't know pretty much any companies that can keep everything under lock and key until the movie release. And even if you are going to, if you do manage to do that, why not do a universal release day so that nothing can get leaked out? Because the fact that it gets released overseas means if I know that it's going to be released on the 17th, and I'm in the US, I'm going to calculate the time for when it's released over there, And then during the movie that I figure it'll be showing, probably a midnight showing on the 17th over there, I will be hitting Google, looking for the leaks, looking for info on this movie. What do people think? You know, what's it about? Is it good? Is it not? What are like twists in it? You know, what's up with certain things? Like, what's up with Katie? Do they explain what was going on at the end of 3? Did they explain that? Like, anything like that. So basically, by the time that I see the movie, because they didn't do an international release day, I'm going to know everything about the movie. And there's a lot of people I know that look up movies like I do and search for leaks, so I'm not quite sure why they would do that. Now, as for reviews and everything, IMDb, International Movie Database, I believe it is, I'm not really sure. It could be Internet Movie Database, I don't remember. But anyway, 4.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes said it sucked. They gave, like, out of 100%, it was 29. And Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know a lot of movies that get really high, marks with them. Obviously, I haven't looked up, like, Godfather or The Avengers and great movies. But most, like, average movies, for 29 on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie's gotta suck. And I've never known them to be big fans of the found footage type genre. But God, 29%? And I've heard nothing good about this movie? It kind of worries me. Like, are you just making these movies for the hell of it now? You gotta be doing it for the money. Because it made over $4.5 million Thursday night when its opening is Friday the 19th. So on the 18th, it's already got $4.5 million on it. Which means its opening weekend, that's going to be $50 million opening weekend. Which, I guess isn't a lot, because great movies can make over $100 million. But, to me, it's just kind of, not hearing any good things about this movie is just disappointing. It's discouraging. And there have been rumors that there will be a 5th movie, and Katie Featherston will be in it. And if the 4th one has gone downhill so much, I'm scared to think of what 5 would be like. 6 even, because there are a few rumors going around that this series is going up to 6 to explain everything. See, the movie order is kind of, you have 1, but I don't think they plan on making more than 1. So when they did 2, they did a prequel to it. But then at the end of 2, it ends 1. So technically you have 1, and you have 2, and then you have 1, and then you have 3, which is not even a prequel, and then you got 4, which goes after 2. So it's kind of like 3, 2, 1, 4. I know it's a whole new family in 4. I know that much. I do know Katie is in this one. I'm not sure if it's going to be like the Katie before the end of 1 or the Katie after. But I'm just gonna say I'm not too sure what the thinking was on this movie. Just because, in my thinking, they did these things wrong. I have not seen a movie that was hush-hush that deserved to be hush-hush. I don't know. I'm hoping I enjoy it. I'm hoping other people enjoy it. I'm hoping it lives up to the series. And really that's all. It's just kind of like my pre-thoughts on the movie. I'm hoping maybe Toby's in it, if they're gonna do anything about 3. And if not, I'm kind of hoping that because I have heard that it's full of jump scares. And I'm kind of hoping for the jump scares of 1 instead of the jump scares of 2. Just because of the hush-hushness, so you're not going to know what to expect. But yeah. Anyway, I will do a movie review on Paranormal Activity 4 when I see it. Hopefully I will be seeing it quite soon. So there's that. Even though it got shit reviews, I am a lover of the series, so I advise you bitches go out and watch the fucking movie.